YouTube? Thank you for checking back in with another TDH upload. Today's video is picking up where we left off on the intercooler for the S13. Now I've dove into it a little bit here off of camera. Let me flip this thing around real quick and show you guys some of my progress. So we'll just dive right into this guy without wasting any time. You guys can see how I've got my piping routed from the throttle body. It goes down through the beauty plate and then up around here and then down and around up to the intercooler. I've got the tape there because when I had the headlight removed, the tape was helping me kind of figure out where I had the clearance and where I could be. And then also, you guys will see that it's a pretty tight fit back here, but once the intercooler is tucked back a little bit, there's actually some space that sits away from the headlight bracket. What I'm gonna be doing is mounting some tabs here that will bolt to each side of the Sylvia headlight brackets. And nice, look at that. You can see where I freaking scratched it because I've been pushing this intercooler in and out and all around, not paying any attention. But anyways, sorry about that. This guy will be pushed back a little bit. These mounts will be holding it back into that position, which will give the clearance from the headlight housing. And the same thing will be happening on the other side. I picked up some 3-inch 45 mandrel bent and some 90-degree mandrel bent intercooling piping. And hopefully we can get this guy all squared away and at least tacked up in place. Once I have all of my pipes fitted up and I've got my basic route set up, I'm gonna go through and mark all of my areas where I'll be welding. You guys can see up here, if you look closely, there's a Sharpie marker right there. That Sharpie mark is letting me know where I need to weld that little elbow there. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And once that's all said and done, we should have a plumbed intercooler, and I've just got to burn everything in. Alrighty folks, we got this deburred cleaned up. Let's go ahead and slide it in the intercooler real quick. It's gonna have just a little bit of play in there. It's not gonna be super tight, but what I'm thinking is if I get it in like this, maybe I've got a ton of play here. I can move up. You guys can see how much play I've got in the actual intercooler, so I can put it on a slight angle if I want to. But this is where our objective is right there. This is the coupler. So what I'm thinking, this guy comes out because we had this cheesy 90. This was just my intercooling piping to get it to run. That 90 degree there, if we maybe roll up about 30 more degrees, if we do like a 120 degree bend or maybe 130, I may just have to do them with pie cuts. If I remove, I don't know, maybe 3.5 inches from here and then have it start snaking down underneath the headlight into the intercooler, because I would really like it to match that one. See how that one's tucked right below? I mean, it's even further back from the headlight. If I can get this to be tucked up here and get it to snake down and around into this coupler, I can, you know, move this coupler vertically. I've only got, not much, but I've got a little bit of tolerance here on this coupler, and this guy, I can make everything work. So that's what I may end up doing. I may end up taking off 3.5 inches here and going from there. If I need to remove more, I will. From that setup there, need to set up my saw here. I'm probably going to change my blade to my 14 TPI because it cuts a lot smoother and it's not as aggressive as my 10, 12 TPI. And I just got to find center on this guy and put a little bit of a degree on the saw head, and we can start ripping out some pies. If I find something that will work nicely, then I'll get to setting that up, tacking it up, and yeah, we'll be about set. Here, let me do zoom out real quick. There we go. Man, this thing's gonna look freaking wicked once it's tucked in there. It's gonna look freaking wicked. Picking up where we left off last night, this is day 2. We're gonna hop right into doing some pie cuts. I already went ahead and marked out my 3-inch pipe here, as you guys can see on either side. I've marked it dead center. I went ahead and set up my saw here to cut at a 4.5-inch degree. Your 4.5-inch degree cut line on either side will give you a 9-degree total, and your 9 degrees will you know, 10 pieces of 9 degrees and a loose radius will give you roughly 90 degrees. So that's kind of how I do my pie cuts. You can kind of play with it here and there. It is not hard, but there's a little bit of math and kind of a rabbit hole that you go down for it. But enough jibber jabber. Let's dive into cutting some pies and getting this thing thrown together. We got her all welded up, had it all tacked together and finalized where I wanted it, and decided, all right, go ahead and burn this sucker in. I won't lie to you guys, in the inside here got a little tough. I had to use my little TIG pad here and kind of prop myself up against this guy here and walk myself down as I was holding the TIG torch kind of on an angle. So it was a little difficult as I was rolling my hand over and my wrist while trying to maintain my finger distance on that pad there, so that way I could have a swift motion. I made it a little tough, but I mean, it came out all right. You can see my worst weld is right here where my consistency was just kind of all over the place, but those remaining welds in there look pretty good. And let me move my TIG torch before this falls on it. Go ahead and drop this out real quick. So you guys can see there where all my tie-ins are. The tie-ins there. It came out all right. Some decent consistency. The welds are looking good, and if we could see up in there, you can see a little bit. I'm pretty confident that I penetrated those welds nicely. But I'm gonna go ahead and pop this guy in here real quick, and then I'll explain to you guys. I hate that I run my mouth so much, but because I do everything in stages, and because I'm poor, I can't just, you know, ball out and just do everything at once. So give me 1 second. It may be a little tough to see down here, but this guy right here, that's a 90-degree coupler. And what I'm going to do is I went ahead and ordered a 2-inch, well, I guess it's a 3-inch to a 2-inch reducer 90-degree coupler, and it's going to be sitting right around this area. So there's a few things that I may change. I may nip this back about an inch, inch and a half. Obviously, I'm going to be bead rolling it and stuff, but the coupler, in order to install this all as one unit, I need to slip it over the coupler and then slip it up into the intercooler. So the second thing that I may do is right here where it splits off. I really hate to try to fit some clamps right here and a coupler, but that's what I may end up doing because it's going to be a lot easier for me to nip this section right here, put 2 beads, and then, well, not welding beads, but rolls, you know, some beads in the bead roller, and then put a coupler here, clamp that guy down, so that way when I do remove the intercooler for any case, well, obviously, if you know, when I've got to finish welding it here, I'll have a section where I can just go ahead and pop that right off, and this can swing free, or this can be a separate piece, and then the intercooler can just have the small little elbows coming off of them, similar to this side. I guess I could have just said that and make my life easier, but you guys get the point of it. The welds look good right there. The nice tight fitment there. Once I get it secured up in the spot, it'll probably be sitting right around here, and hopefully we clear the bumper, because I know that the Sylvia, like, I'll show you my fiberglass one. The Sylvia signal lights in the bumper are like right there. So this is my crappy fiberglass, and it's gonna be really tough to see, but you can see that's where the signal lights are supposed to be. So I plan on trying to find a stock bumper, but I don't know. I found a fiberglass hood that I want to pick up, so it's kind of up in the air, but hopefully it clears it. If not, we'll do some adjusting. Let me do the wide angle real quick. There you go. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That is a wrap for today's video, guys. I will be following up with part 3, and that'll be me burning in the actual elbows on the intercooler and welding the intercooler all out. I didn't want to dive right into welding the intercooler out just in case I needed to make any changes, or if the piping didn't fit behind the headlight brackets, or you know, just something silly that I ran into, and then I would have to cut up my intercooler or cut sections out. So that's why it's all tacked up, and that's why it's the way that it is right now. I'm very, very, very happy with the way that these pipes have come out. I'm kind of worried about a Sylvia bumper now that I've kind of thought about that and looked at the difference between the 2-inch pipe on this lower side on the passenger side and then the 3-inch on the driver, but I guess we will find out. Either way, it looks freaking awesome. I am stoked, and we are one step closer to getting this S13 on the road again. I was supposed to go get an alignment, by the way. I guess I'll just update you guys in the next video about that. Hopefully by that time we can get an alignment appointment squared away and get the car over there, but I've got some other news for moving and all that good jazz, so that'll just come later in a channel update. So thank you for watching, guys. I do appreciate you. I will see you in the next upload. Have a good night. Later.